Well, this is like nothing I've ever seen, so prepare yourself. Trump at the Detroit Economic Club was once again in a situation where clearly his staff, his aides are trying to put him in a corner and box him into talking about just economic stuff. Stay on the economic stuff. Don't go off on your wild tangents. But he can't help himself. And setting up these events like speaking at the Detroit Economic Club still can't save Trump from himself. And this latest example's crazy. Before playing it for you, a reminder of something the Vice President Harris said at the debate, because it really gives insight into what we're about to watch.
Instead of fixing a problem. And I'll tell you something, he's going to talk about immigration a lot tonight, even when it's not the subject that is being raised. And I'm going to actually do something really unusual, and I'm going to invite you to attend one of Donald Trump's rallies, because it's a really interesting thing to watch. You will see during the course of his rallies, he talks about fictional characters like Hannibal Lecter. He will talk about windmills cause cancer. And what you will also notice is that people start leaving his rallies early out of exhaustion and boredom. And I will tell you, the one thing you will not hear him talk about is you. You will not hear him talk about your needs, your dreams, and your desires. And I'll tell you, I believe you deserve a president who actually puts you first, and I pledge to you that I will.
So no matter where Trump is, no matter what the context for the event is supposed to be, he finds a way to make it about me, 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 me. And here he gets onto his obsession with this idea that he was named at one point years and years ago the Michigan Man of the Year. And as we dissect what you're going to watch, you really learn a lot about the current structure of the modern Republican Party, how it's become this cult of personality. Because the evidence he cites doesn't prove what he thinks it does, and proves how much people will do to make him feel good, even if it embarrasses him in front of the world. So here's a clip. While you're watching, please do make sure you click that subscribe button. Right now we're traveling. Jaden can show you the little behind the scenes camera shot. And if you appreciate the grind, even when we're traveling doing the show, I would appreciate you clicking the subscribe button. Here it is.
Answer having nothing to do with what she said before. They took another thing that she said and they just lopped it in there. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. 60 Minutes, nobody's ever seen. And they wanted to make her look as good as possible, make her look better. A big problem in our country is the fake news. We have such fake news. I mean, I've had a recent thing where, as an example, an Obama disciple named Peter Baker, he writes for the failing New York Times, he wrote a piece about me. And just one of the many things he said that was wrong, but he said that I would go around saying that I was honored here years ago as the Man of the Year or whatever. And I talked about how your car industry, this was long before, many years before I ran for president, maybe 18, 20 years ago. And he made the statement that that never took place, that honor never took place. I was never honored here, which was quite insulting, actually. And I didn't remember the specifics of it. It was 18 or 20.
So here we go. Here comes the receipts he thinks he's going to reveal. Look at how confused he gets while he's reading it, because this is not what I think I'm supposed to be proving. And 20 years ago, 18, 17, 20 years ago is the time frame he thinks this is happening, and he's been telling this for years. Since he got into politics, he's been telling this lie.
20 years ago. But he said it never took place. Very much like Kamala, she said she worked at McDonald's and she didn't. And I didn't want to get into that, so what I did is I asked my people, you gotta find it. When? It was like 19 years, 17, it was a long time, but I was honored. And guess what? They found it, I was. Right here. Nice looking young guy. No, it was a long time ago. So this was in, let's see, this was an update of the article that they originally printed. It says, Oakland County GOP to honor Donald Trump. former president.
So already we're in some troublesome territory. Some people are calling this a cognitive event. I think this is a narcissism event more so. But before playing more, you see what he's holding up? You can kind of see the picture. And if you go to the article that he's talking about, Oakland Press, Oakland County GOP to honor Donald Trump, former president. So that's exactly what he was reading off. Former president. Wait, but you were telling this story since before you were president at all. And the photo is not a nice young guy. It's Trump from his CNN town hall during the 2024 presidential race. Is he okay? He called this a long time ago. This was with Caitlin Collins on CNN. Strange.
To speak at upcoming Lincoln Day fundraising dinner. And it says down here, the county party gave Trump the Man of the Year award at the dinner, too. And he was honored as Man of the Year. So here's your article right here. Oakland Press, Oakland County GOP to honor Trump. And I have a man in the failing, fake New York Times, disgraceful paper. They ought to be ashamed. Whatever they say, believe the opposite. Who knows how long they're going to be around? It's killing our country. This kind of stuff.
This kind of stuff is killing our country, and that's why the New York Times might not be around much longer, again with his threats against the media. But that we've covered a lot. Let's really focus in on this, because I know you're thinking this is sort of petty. Why is so much emphasis given by him, of course, but then in people fact-checking him about this Michigan Man of the Year thing? To me, it's about what it represents, and then I'll get to another moment from this same event. But again, I'll show you what I think MAGA is excited about. Because if you look in the comments of MAGA accounts posting that clip, they're going, see, Trump just crushed the fake news. He brought the receipts. But even what he read off didn't make any sense. You're saying 20 years ago you were honored as the former president? That's not right. Or 20 years ago you were honored, and so then as the former president you were re-honored. And again, I'll get to that. So here's the article, the Oakland Press, Oakland County GOP to honor Donald Trump. But this is talking about in 2023, the Lincoln Day dinner. And county Republicans will give Trump the Man of the Decade award during their dinner. This was June 25th, 2023. But for years, since the first election cycle with Trump, 2016, 2020, 2024, he's been telling the same story. The first time they could figure out someone to bolster this story, it was the current chair, and this gets so interesting, of the Oakland County Republican Party, a person by the name of Amber Harris. And she said that at the 2023 Man of the Decade award that Trump was getting, I think it was the first they gave to Trump, pitiful, the county party, they had given, because she was asked about it, this county party had given the Man of the Year award at that dinner to Trump back in 2013. Now, it gets better, but let's stop there. If that's the end of the story, still Trump's struggling with his dates, because notably 2013 is not 20 years ago, or 17 years ago. And Trump has been telling this, it was so long ago story since right when he got into politics, which was 2015, which wasn't that far after, long after 2013. And then what you find when you go even further down this dumb rabbit hole is that the chair of the Oakland County Republican Party, who was the chair in 2013 at that dinner, says that award was never given to Trump. After Trump made the claim in 2019, CNN reports Trott contacted CNN to note that at a roundtable event with automotive executives in 2017, Trump had suggested he received the Man of the Year award at a 2013 event in Michigan where Trott had invited him to give a speech, a Lincoln Day dinner Trott had chaired in Oakland County. At that event, Trott gave Trump a framed copy of Lincoln's Gettysburg Address and other gifts, but Trott emphatically noted that he did not give Trump any Man of the Year award, nor did anyone else there. So he was at least the chair of that dinner, and it was in Oakland County. And then the current chair of the Oakland County GOP says, yeah, sure, in 2013, I guess we gave him that. Even though the dinner that Trump refers to, the person who organized it says that didn't happen. But Trump brings up an article talking about the 2023 Lincoln Day dinner that cites the current Republican in power in Oakland County saying, yeah, Trump's correct. He's not lying. It's indicative of a cult of personality because Trump says something, he just got confused maybe, or he was lying and thought that at some dinner it was the man of the year. It wasn't, but they had him speak there. And then he repeats it so many times that then they have to get Republicans to give a current award so that they can say that they gave a past award to him and fabricate a whole lie around him. It's stunning. And nobody cares. It's not that big of a deal. Just say, oh, not man of the year. I spoke at some event. Because every time he's referencing that award, he's referencing what he said at that dinner about jobs being taken out of the United States. He could just make that point. But instead, you've seen it so many times, he'll answer questions about real topics with such a meaningless lie.
With many jobs being outsourced as we speak, what actions will you take to ensure that our jobs stay in America so we can continue to build the best cars in the world here in Michigan?
So pretty much as we've been saying, and what I want to do is I want to be able to, look, your business, years ago in this area, I was honored as the man of the year. It was maybe 20 years ago. Oh, and the fake news heard about it. They said, it never happened. It never happened. And I didn't know who it was. It was a group that...
Okay. And then he answers a question about keeping jobs in America by talking about his Michigan Man of the Year award, that the person who organized the dinner that Trump referenced at a different event in talking about the Michigan Man of the Year award in Oakland County says, I promise you it didn't happen. I would have been the one giving him that. It didn't happen. That's not a thing. But then Trump's campaign, probably, let's be honest, gets the current Oakland County Republican chair to say, yeah, sure, we gave that to him in 2013, and hold a 2023 event, making him the man of the decade, all to protect his fifis. Is this who you want to be president? Someone who needs that much work to be done to pamper him? And who answers questions about policy with answers about himself and how great he is? Then also at this Detroit Economic Club, you have him saying this.
All over the world. The other big news is the fraud committed by 60 Minutes and CBS, together with the Democrat Party, working together with them, which will go down as the single biggest scandal in broadcast history, I predict. It's a big story. I don't know if you've seen it yet. Happened. They learned about it yesterday evening.
Who's they? What is it? What's the bombshell? There's no bombshell, but a Newsmax host, and this is so fascinating. So in this segment, you're witnessing Trump tell a lie. Now, how long has it been? Almost a decade he's been telling this lie. And Republicans have to bend reality to make him feel okay about it. Then he holds up a sheet of paper thinking he's bringing the receipts to prove he's right, and he's not. Rob Schmidt here, a MAGA host, did a similar thing, backing up Trump's claims about 60 Minutes and how unfair and how Trump should get an apology because of how the Leslie Stahl interview went. And it's like they don't know what evidence is, because watch what Rob Schmidt cites as evidence of Trump's claim.
Hey guys, wanted to throw something on social media just for a lot of the people that probably don't watch the show, people that are moderate, don't pay as much attention, because it's a great example of just how often you're being lied to by a mainstream media machine that has a lot of control over people that aren't paying that close of attention. This week, what did we see? We saw Kamala Harris do 60 Minutes on Monday night. Really big deal, right? Trump was supposed to do it too. They both had initially agreed to do it. Trump backed out last minute, enraging CBS. CBS is so pissed off about this. And Trump dropped out because he was demanding an apology, a public apology from Leslie Stahl and 60 Minutes for the interview that he did 4 years ago at this same time, right before the election. In that interview, Trump brought up Hunter Biden's laptop, which we now know, years later, has been proven without a doubt. Nobody denies it anymore. The Bidens are very corrupt. They've taken millions and millions of dollars from China, from Russia, from an energy company in Ukraine, a couple other weird places. They've taken a fortune in for access to Joe Biden's power. That's all been proven now. Nobody can deny it. At the time, we still knew it was true. The New York Post had verified that the laptop was real. The FBI had had it for more than a year. We know internally that they knew it was real. They concealed it to protect Joe Biden to get him into power. Leslie Stahl basically said that the laptop had been discredited, that it was Russian disinformation on 60 Minutes, which severely damaged Trump and boosted Biden like a week before the election. Was really one of the main reasons that Biden won, was because nobody believed that the laptop was real because the media can.
I'm sorry. I know this introduction to the really interesting part of this clip is so much. Just quickly, I know you know this, but what he's saying is just wildly incorrect. That wouldn't have swayed the election because the things that they're saying were on the laptop that were notable were all reported on before the election, and they don't prove the things that Rob Schmidt thinks they prove, as shown by a years-long investigation by Republicans that led to a humiliating defeat by James Comer, where he's not even courageous enough or confident enough to bring an impeachment vote against Biden because he knows even Republicans in the House majority would not vote to impeach Biden because there's no evidence that connects Biden to any corruption whatsoever. And yes, they've spread a bunch of images of Joe Biden's, not Joe Biden, oh gosh, Hunter Biden's, a lot of images of Hunter Biden doing drugs and different things. That's just not at all something that impugns Biden's character or at least governance and its lack of corrupt activities. So all of that's wrong, but here's the really interesting part.
Concealed it. On Monday night, Scott Pelley goes on 60 Minutes just a couple days ago and tells the audience that Trump made an outrageous claim about Leslie Stahl, but she never said that. Here's what he said.
Trump said he needed an apology for his interview in 2020. Trump claims correspondent Leslie Stahl said in that interview that Hunter Biden's controversial laptop came from Russia. She never said that.
So there you go, right there.
Hold on to the claim, because Rob Schmidt's so proud of himself for the next thing he's going to play. The claim is that Leslie Stahl said Hunter Biden's laptop was from Russia. Scott Pelley says that never happened because it didn't. Rob Schmidt thinks he has a clip of it happening. We'll see if he's right.
There from Scott Pelley. Trump's a conspiracy theorist and he's just scared to take tough questions. And
Scott didn't say any of that, but okay.
And Kamala's doing it, but Trump won't. Scott Pelley, high and mighty as always. But it takes little more than a Google search to find the 2020 interview of Leslie Stahl with Donald Trump. We scrolled through the 45-minute episode. Here's exactly what she said.
You discredit yourself. I don't have to discredit you.
So this story about Hunter and his laptop, some repair shop found it. The source is Steve Bannon and Rudy Giuliani.
I don't know anything about that. I just know it's a laptop, and they haven't.
And you're making this one of the hottest, most important issues in your rallies.
I don't know about the two gentlemen you mentioned.
This is the most important issue in the country.
It's a
right
very
now.
important issue to find out whether or not a man's corrupt who's running for president, who's accepted money from China and from Ukraine and from Russia.
All these
I think
things
that's
have
an
been
important issue.
investigated and
So there it is. And just to give you the impact of a moment like that.
There what is? You didn't play a clip of her saying what you said she said. She never said the laptop was from Russia. Scott Pelley said in the introduction that Trump didn't want to do the 60 Minutes interview because he wanted an apology because Leslie Stahl said Hunter Biden's laptop was from Russia. And Rob Schmidt says, oh, wait, but clarify, Scott Pelley correctly identifies that that's not anything that left the mouth of Leslie Stahl in the interview. Rob Schmidt goes, yeah, I did though, check it. Plays a clip of Leslie Stahl saying nothing about the laptop being from Russia and saying that the things Trump was listing off, like Joe Biden has received millions of dollars from Russia and Ukraine and China, have been investigated by Trump's DOJ and discredited, which is absolutely correct. And Rob Schmidt thinks that's a slam dunk. No, you just proved Scott Pelley correct. You just proved Leslie Stahl correct. You proved 60 Minutes correct. It's so weird. I don't know why people do that. Why would you go, I got the evidence right here, and then play something that disproves what you're saying. Pretty wild stuff. And by the way, if we didn't know it then, we surely know it now that discredited, investigated, and discredited, credit to Leslie Stahl, is the best way to describe those claims, given that Republicans have spent so much time and resources investigating Biden and have gotten nothing that would even make them confident enough, as crazy as much of their majority is, to impeach Biden. As I've been covering for years now. Let me know what you thought in the comments. MAGA folks, Trump and his allies really do not know what evidence looks like and don't know how to prove their claims. Maybe because their claims are so often false. Become a member by clicking the join button below.